So, welcome. We're all here. We're all trying to do the same thing. Today maybe is going to be that day. Let's get started today. Let's do it together. Why not? What do you need? Don't need very many things. I'm going to add a little picture right here of what I started with. As you can see, it's just my phone, an older tripod that I've had for a long time just to hold the camera still. I had gotten this microphone, but I can't seem to get it to pair up properly. So I just grabbed my headset that I use for Zoom calls. Super inexpensive, does the job. I can quickly mute. Turn it back on. It's a decent little piece. Bluetooth, lasts a really long time. Just initially I didn't want to shoot the video with this thing on my head, but whatever. Figure let's just get started and let's see where it goes. So today is going to be the first day of my reintroduction to shooting online videos. A couple of years ago, I was doing it relatively frequently, at least once a week. Some life happened. Things got put aside, and I never really picked it back up. Shame on me, absolutely, 100%. If I had continued this. So, we're back. The phone closed the video and launched its own, launched a Facebook app on its own. I know, did some gestures do it? This isn't an iPhone, so I don't know. But either way, we're back now. I don't know what you heard or if it cut off before I was saying. We're going to start again now with the shooting content. I'm going to target, give myself a realistic goal of 2 times a week, maybe 3 for video. Now the other content stuff, I'm kind of working on creating content that I can post daily on the different platforms and just kind of increase my exposure out there. And I'm in the middle of learning more about digital marketing and understanding how that goes, and I'm going to apply it. And the reason that I'm starting now and not when I started researching the info, because I've been researching the info for a long time. But you are probably like me. We need info. We need more info. We need to understand what it is we're doing. What are we doing? What are we doing? How are we going to do it? And so it's just all this information gathering from everywhere. And then once you have the information, now you have to sort through the information. Figure out, okay, well, can I do that? Should I do that? Will that work for me? What happens if it doesn't? The valid questions. Absolutely valid questions. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't try, all of that information gathering was useless. Well, that's Lex. Lex is still around. Information gathering. Where are you going to go? You're going to go exactly where it is you want to be and start looking for information. And that is going to be your social medias. It's on your Instagram, it's on your Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok. Where are you going to do the most? YouTube. Why YouTube? Because in our brains, it's longer, more informative videos where they have the opportunity to show us how. Versus TikTok, where it's smaller scale, shorter clips, we'll call it. Still get lots of valuable information from there, and then you'll have, where people are live and talking and explaining things like, what I'm doing right now. But it's hard to digest. The confusion is crazy. The amount of information that's out there, it's wild. And when you don't know where to start or how to start, it just can get real overwhelming really, really quickly. You know, you can see all day long. Why can't I get into the online space? Why can't I do what that person is doing? That person looks just like me. That person talks just like I do. That person lives a life just like I do. Why not me? Oh, it's easy. There's something you're scared of. Do you know what it is? That's the first question. Second question is going to be, well, what if I try and I fail? Then you try again. But now you're not starting from zero, you're starting from experience. You tried something and you know now what doesn't work. Think about it just like life, right? As we get older, the one thing we learn more and more with each passing day is we learn what it is that we don't want. We always knew what we wanted. We knew what we wanted since we were children. We wanted toys, we wanted food, we wanted cars. As as you started growing, we wanted, partners, women, men, whatever the case may be. We wanted travel, we wanted to experience things. But in the midst of all of that, you also started realizing what you don't want to do. Well, I don't want to eat this food. I don't want to play with these particular toys. They don't interest me. I don't want to drive this type of vehicle. I don't want to be with that type of person. You may not realize it, but that's technically what happens as you grow. You learn what it is that you don't want. But we're all chasing the same thing. We're chasing a life filled with good experiences so that we have good memories. As you age, you're going to become a storyteller by default. You've got all of this experience behind you, all this stuff, things that you've lived. It's factual. Who are you going to tell it to? Who wants to hear it? You'd be surprised who wants to hear it. If nobody wants to hear it, it just means you're talking to the wrong people. Right? One of the first things you got to do is you got to look around you. Take a good look around you. Not just physically where you are, more importantly, who is around you? What is going on around you? Are you sitting in a place where you can grow? Are you sitting in a place where you can develop? Are you sitting in a place where you can change yourself to change everything around you? The last question, 100%. Doesn't matter where you're sitting. You can always get up and move. Mind you, you're mobile, hoping that you're mobile. You can, as in, you have the mobility, you're able to get up and walk. Or roll, or crawl, whatever the case may be. You can move. But more so, change my circumstance? Yes. Why do I want to change my circumstance? Because just like everybody else, I want more. I want more time. I want more money. I want more experience. To get the experience, you need the time and the money. You can't swallow yourself in work all the time. Working. Get up, go to work. You wake up, you fight through traffic. You get to work. The question you gotta ask yourself when you get to work, when you hold that door to open the door and go inside, what runs through your mind? But don't lie to yourself that nothing does, because something runs through your mind every time you get there and your hand touches that door to go in. Is this what my life is going to be? This is what I was born to do? Right? You gotta... They used to call it work-life balance. Right? That was something that never existed for as long as I know. It was all about work, 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 work. If I look back at my parents, who immigrated here from another country, I'm in Canada, by the way, and the focus was to find a job, value the job, generate income, because we have a family to maintain. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. They left what they knew, came somewhere new, to start again from zero, to benefit me and my siblings. That was the whole purpose behind it. So, as their children, and being here now as Generation 1, if we can't make the environment work to our favor, we're the ones doing something wrong. Right? How difficult is it to figure it out? Oh, it's definitely difficult to figure out. You're going to follow their footsteps to an extent because that's what you know. That's the example that you've seen. But you're going to have to get to a point where, just like they made the decision to leave what they know and come here, I had to make the decision to, like, how am I going to live my life? And so it was education. Just go to school, learn how to do something. Take what you've learned, start applying it, start looking for jobs, start getting on a career path, start accelerating at that career path, start getting the promotion, start moving up the ladder, to say. Because you're going up the ladder for one thing and one thing only when you're working. You want more money. You're not looking at the time and so forth, because you've already been programmed in your brain, well, I'm going to spend 8 hours here a day and 2 hours commuting back and forth. That's you don't even think about that no more. Now you think about, well, I'm here, what am I getting out of it? And you want more money. To get more money, you got to get to the next level, the next position, right? And I was actually having a conversation with somebody not too long ago who was, doing the same thing, and he's in a position. So we started talking about, well, what is your position? What's the next position up? How can we go about getting into a place where you can make some more money? Well, the next position up, and this is one of the downsides to where he's working, is it's a small company. So there's maybe 10 staff in total. So he's paid decent. He'd like to make some more money. The next role up is occupied by somebody, and it won't be cleared until that person retires. So it's like, are you now going to invest the time and wait for that person to retire or move on? With a small company, there isn't room to make more roles until the company starts to expand. The company has to get bigger for more positions to become open. Otherwise, you just need to revolve in the small structure that's there and wait your turn to grow. If that's what you're after, cool, keep at it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But when you've finished, when you put in your 8 hours of time, you're done, and you go home, now what? Now what do you do? I don't know. What am I going to do? Well, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. 10 hours have... 12 hours have passed since I woke up. Which is half of the 24-hour day. Right? I got up, I had some breakfast, did what I had to do, hit the road, sat in traffic, got to work, started work, worked my day, left work, got in traffic, came home, have dinner, make dinner, have dinner. There's my 12 hours have passed. Now, what do I gotta do? Well, because I'm exhausted, I just, you know what? Let me plug in, let me turn on the TV, and let me, binge watch something. Let me use this as a method to clear my mind and settle my mind and prepare myself to go to sleep, to do this whole thing all over again. And that is the trap that most of us have gotten stuck in at some point in time.